Hi everyone, welcome to
Hello.
Restart India Live. We're going to talk about real challenges, real conversations. I'm Lakshmi Vagiri and I'm with Ink Talks. And on behalf of Restart India, I really want to welcome all of you. This is a way for us, Restart India is a way for us to connect with each one of you and to see how we can further this movement. We are already in 2021. I can't believe it. We've all had such a tough 2020. We are in 2021, and this is our first live event for this year. And we know and we promise that there's going to be many such conversations are going to be presented to you. And I think we are all at a place where, be it conversations that are medically oriented or about vaccinations or about our livelihoods or small scale industries, we are in the midst of many, many, many conversations. And we are all trying to keep pace with all the stuff that's happening around us. And we are trying to hang on to each other, come together as a collective so that we can be better together. And that's our effort here is that how do we, bring you all together, bring all your concerns and ideas together so we can learn from each other. So, with this spirit, we want to start our show. And I really must say that we started this in the midst of COVID to bring everybody together. And we learned so much over the past year of how to come up with new ideas, how to follow through them, and how to work with each and every one of you to make this a reality out in the marketplace. It's not just that we are trying to help small and nano entrepreneurs uh, just through mentor conversations, which is how this started. We said, how can we help small and nano entrepreneurs through mentorship conversations? But we have expanded into a lot more, is to engage in these dialogues, invite each one of you to ask for help, ask for ideas, ask for any blocks you may have in your business to see how we can make it better. So we have great people here who can answer your questions. To start this off, I would like to introduce to you my co-host and good friend Thomas John Muthoot. Johnny is the chairman for Muthoot Papachan Group, and he's also the managing director for Muthoot FitCorp Limited. And it's one of the largest NBFCs with as many as 3,600 branches across India. And I'm really thrilled that we at Inc. and Muthoot Papachan Group came together to host this Restart India and bring together a great group of leaders who have given their time, dedicated themselves to serving the humanity in a huge way. And you'll be hearing from one such speaker later. And our focus is how to enable the financial well-being for small businesses all over India, which is what Muthoot Papachan Group has been doing. And as a collective, that's what we want to do. With that, I would like to bring on my good friend Johnny. Welcome, Johnny.
Thank you, Lakshmi. And good evening, everyone, and welcome, Dilip Narayan. Uh, so, I'll just give a background on how the Restart India initiative took shape. So, all of us during this COVID time, during this COVID days, it was a period of discovery and rediscovery. So, when I say discovery, what I mean is that we have discovered new way of doing things. We have rediscovered some things which we stopped doing earlier. Now we have gone back. So it was a period of discovery and rediscovery. And for us at Muthoot, it was again going back to the customers during this lockdown and post-lockdown to understand what they need and how can we help them during this period of this pandemic. So what we found that many of our customers who were functioning, some of them were not functioning. All of them had not only financial needs, they had other questions on how to restart their business, what would be the future of their business. All had many questions. So we came out with a portal where questions would be uploaded from the customers, or if they can't do it, we would assist them. So, and we had two levels of responding to these questions. So we also had a panel of mentors who we have empaneled in this portal for us to have the most appropriate answers to these questions of our customers. And we also have these conversations once in a while, so that this also is something which is available to our customers and well-wishers who would take information and pass it on to their business community, which would also help grow their business. More of these questions and our customers come from the nano and small, I would say nano, micro and small enterprises, where they do not have access to much information. And this will be a forum where we would want to disseminate as much information and also give them ideas where they should strike next. So in this initiative, we are looking at touching more of these nano, micro enterprises, and see how some of the trending things that is trending now can be adapted to their business. And one would be the digital initiatives that would help their business, because being a business so nano, they would always worry where to start. So this would also help them to understand that starting is not difficult, and we would be there to support them. So we're very fortunate to have a panel of good mentors, and also we are fortunate to have this partnership with Inc. Lakshmi for a very long time, and so we are all here embarking on a great journey to take the nano and micro enterprises to the next level. For today, we have a topic: social media, which is a game changer for small business. We have seen during this COVID times that how social media is helping a lot of nano micro businesses, and we are very happy to have with us to share insights and offer guidance for this Restart India initiative. We have with us today Mr. Dilip Narayan. Dilip Narayan is the founder and brand mentor at the Organic BPS, India's first purpose branding company. He is also the founder and managing trustee of Greenstorm Foundation, a non-profit organization which is very prominent for its creative initiatives in building environmental awareness among youth and children. He is also in the advisory board of many reputed real estate companies. He is also a former member of the advisory board of the Life Insurance Corporation of India. Again, a postgraduate in management, Mr. Narayan is a speaker and a thought leader on doing good is good business concept. So welcome, Dilip, and we are delighted and excited to have you with us today. So with this introduction, I would like to introduce to the topic, and I would want you to tell us how relevant is social media for small business marketing. We would like to hear from you how social media can help small businesses, particularly nano and micro enterprises. Over to you, Dilip.
Good evening, all. Thank you, Johnny sir and Lakshmi, for having me here in this wonderful program, wonderful initiative, Restart India. I'm so glad that when you look at the marginalized, the small business sector, the unorganized, or you are talking about unink of India, which contribute around 50 percentage to India's GDP, and which employs around 90% of India's workforce. And I truly sincerely appreciate the efforts taken by Restart India program to guide, support, mentor, and build capability for this small business sector, this unorganized sector, which is, I would say, it's actually a nation building effort because it contributes such 50% of one country's GDP and employs 90% of the workforce. Means it is not say when you look at the FDIs, which constitute around 7% of India's GDP, which is headline grabbing. Small businesses are not headline grabbing. So perhaps this kind of initiatives would really help and support the small business sector. Johnny sir, when you asked me that question as a student of and observer of media landscape of the country for the past 25 years, I would say, the media has changed so dramatically. The media components, the media landscape has changed so dramatically, especially in the past 6 to 8 months. Generally, such a change will take at least 8 to 10 years. It just compressed in such short span of time. So this is the first time I'm seeing such landslide, the change happening in the media sector. And this has opened up a great opportunity to the small businesses. This media change is a boon to the small business sector. So I would agree when you say social media is a game changer for small businesses. It's 100% a game changer because if you ask, there are many reasons, but I would like to point out 3 or 4 major reasons why social media is a game changer for small businesses of India. One, it is democratized. Social media. Lakshmi, you want to say something?
No. I was just going to ask that it is a game changer, and I'd like you to talk more about it. I was wondering, maybe you can add by saying, how do you go about creating a social media strategy from scratch? I wasn't sure.
No, I would. Why I say game changer because the social media has democratized the media landscape. Whether you are a 10,000 crore business or if you are having a 10,000 rupee business, the space belongs to you. It's universally accessible to everyone. So it's democratized. Number one. Number two, it is highly affordable. Unlike the traditional media, print or television or radio, this is zero cost, negligible cost. So it's highly affordable. So it's ideal for small business. Thirdly, it is a do-it-yourself medium. If you want to place an advertisement in television or print, you need a professional setup. You need an agency to design, develop, disseminate, and all. So social media is like do it yourself. You need you yourself can do everything. So it is also good for small business. And fourthly, you can choose your audience. You can target and micro target, and you can choose your customers and audience. So it's accessible, affordable, do it yourself, and you can target. So this is a great formula for a small business. So that is why I said this pandemic has actually presented a great opportunity for small businesses to know market.
Yeah. And I think you're right that, when we are given a problem, either you turn it into an opportunity or you let it get to you. So you're right that people who can take advantage of it, they are taking advantage of it. But still, social media strategy the words may seem very daunting. So how do you suggest a small business can go about creating social media strategy from scratch? I mean, what are the things they should think about first?
Yeah, yes, see, you're right. When it's social media or the new age media, generally people consider that as a very insurmountable thing and the technology driven, and you have that kind of a feeling. But
Yeah.
when if you ask me for a small business, especially if I answer to your question only in the perspective of a small business, the small business which Joni sir was mentioning, like a nano, small, micro retailer or that kind of a small business, not that SME sector. For him, what is the characteristics of such a person? When he is limited by, he is a one-man army. That small business owner, he himself is a CEO, CTO, CFO, CMO, all rolled into one. So he is a one-man army. So he is limited by time. He do not have much time. He do not have, he cannot delegate, okay, digital marketing to one person. Nothing he can do. He don't do everything. So he has limitation in terms of time. Then we have generally most 90% of the small businesses do not have any marketing budget, zero marketing budget. So you don't have time, you don't have money to do social marketing. So how do you do social media? Well, how do you create a social media strategy for such a person? I would say this. I would recommend, in my experience, in my limited experience in dealing with such people and observing how people are managing this kind of situation, I would recommend a simple solution, simple strategy to approach social media. That means, you have lots of many channels. You have WhatsApp, you have Facebook, you have LinkedIn, you have Pinterest, and so on. So for so many social media channels are there. But since you have limitations in terms of money and time, I would recommend you select one channel. This is a slightly controversial when it's generally digital media, especially say you go in all. But I would say for small businessman, you select one channel. You have limited time. You focus on that. Whether it can be face, whatever it is, ideal for your audience and for you to converse in, to manage. And you select one channel and focus on that. That's my first step in. If you are starting from the scratch, I can tell you an example if we have time. In after the lockdown, I think it was in May June time, two women, very talented women in my community in Cochin, whom we know who are staying in nearby places, in that they have ventured into those two businesses. One person was a good artist. She draws, does the caricature and sketches. So she started a small online business. You send your photograph, Lishmi can send the photograph, she will draw the caricature and send it back. And clearly the college lab, so many, drawing, project report, so many things she can do. So that's a business. And the other lady is actually, even though she stays in Cochin, she is from coastal Karnataka, Konkan. So she's a passionate cook. And she has delicacies of Konkan, vegetarian delicacies of 4 p.m. snack and the breakfast. So both of them, maybe because they're locked after lockdown, they will start to pursue this business, and they started. So, and I was following them, and they were using social media only to market and to get business orders. And I was following them also. Then in this, in the last week of January, during that Republic Day, so we had a get together of all community. So then I met up with this, and I asked, how is your business, and how is it going? So this the cook, passionate cook said, no, it's wonderful. I am doing. I also got a helper to support me, and now lots of orders are coming, and I'm enjoying. And artist also said, I'm enjoying. I am fully engaged, but there is no money. So that was where come like he's enjoying, he's fully occupied, but he's not getting enough money, paid job. So I
Yeah.
was, why this? Because both of them are getting, what is the reason? And then I realized, when I closely observed, I realized this cook is using only Facebook. She has limited, she spends limited time on Facebook, and she daily she does the marketing and whatever we call. And other artists, what she does, she is present in all social media channels. She is in Instagram, she is in LinkedIn, she is in Facebook, she is in WhatsApp, and she spends lots of time on that. And where, I don't know, this focus, this could be one reason. Then she said, from her understanding, and from her conversation, I also realized, focus is very, very important. So
Yes.
the question when you asked about the right strategy, I think we should have focus, clarity, and focus on one channel for small businesses. This example also proves me the same thing.
Yeah. We actually, Dilip, we have another example. I'd like to introduce, a program we had with Shiraj. He's one of our, small entrepreneurs. And he's a champion. He's a Restart India champion. He's been running a ladies and kids wear store called Options at Kochi, for about 3 years. So he faced many challenges during the lockdown, and instead of giving up, he revived his business. Let's watch the video to see what he has done. As you're saying, Dilip, sometimes very simple things, just starting a WhatsApp group every day, posting something in it, new ideas, etc., has really, helped, Shiraj be successful. So, continuing our conversation,
Lakshmi, I had a question for Dilip.
oh, sure, go ahead, go ahead.
So, Dilip, see, most of these nano micro enterprises would always want to know. Uh, it's a very direct question. If I use social media, how can it help my sales improve? So it's a very, very straightforward. This is one cannot think beyond this direct question. So you are recommending digital, you are recommending social media. How is it going to help me improve my sales? It's a very direct question. So can you just put one or two recommendations for these nano micro enterprises if they have to leverage social media, one or two ways where they should concentrate to improve sales.
Yeah, sure, Johnny sir. Social media can actually not only build awareness or engagement with your customers, it can also generate lots of leads for your business, especially for small businesses. It is quite possible. And during this pandemic time, or when people are confined in their homes, this is the right method to reach out to your target audience. So when you ask what are the, some simple steps or strategies one can adopt to leverage social media to generate sales, I would say first thing is, social media is all about content. Content creation, and what is the content we need to dish out to. So first thing a small businessman has to do is to have a plan for content plan, a relevant and quality content. He should have, okay, this week I'm going to talk about this. Maybe he may be talking about one produce of his or one merchandise he has. Or if he's a vegetable vendor, he can talk about certain vegetable and which has come, or seasonal fruits which what has come. So there should be a content plan in his mind. So that is the first step, which can be stories, which can be personal stories, which can be product photographs or a video, or it can be a customer story, customer saying something. So this is the content is the first step in social media thing. So you should have whatever relevant content, whatever simple content, need not be very elaborate and things like that. Where relevant and quality content he has to develop, and he has to post it, use it. This. Secondly, you need to actively engage your audience. Say you are having a WhatsApp group or a Facebook account. You may have some followers, some members, community. So you need to engage with them. It is not only talking about you. You need to engage with them, with their audience. So social media is something which is very interactive. You need to comment on their post. You need to like their post. You need to tell some, make some observations about their post. Not only that, you put your story only. You need to talk to your customer. Your customer has done something, so you congratulate him. So then you build a rapport and relation. So it's a great relationship building and engagement building medium. So that's the second step I would recommend is actively engage your relevant audience. Thirdly, I have 100% I can say that you need to maintain a constant and consistent plan. It is not that one day you do something, then you forget, next month you come back and post. It is because that algorithms of digital media which recognizes the consistent and there is something which I also learned it little late. You need to post if you are in social media. You need to post at a particular time every day. Then it's the algorithm picks it up fast. It is not that you do it today at 5 o'clock, tomorrow at 6 o'clock. So these are simple techniques, but every day at 11 o'clock, if you are posting, then that algorithm recognizes that. And so consistently you do activities in social media is the third thing. So by doing these kind of simple techniques, one can actually create a robust marketing tool in social media.
So I would say 3C: content, conversation, and consistency.
Yes, sir.
Wow, you came up already with a formula, Johnny. So the finance person in him is always looking for formula, equation. So Dilip, we have a question from the audience. There's some from Kerala asking, how do you decide which social media channel to choose for a small business?
This is a very there is no standard answer for that, because there are two things you can consider when you decide on this choice. One is your comfort level, because this is we are not talking about large enterprise. We are talking about a nano business, nano, micro, small businessman. So he is confident and comfortable in which whether he is in social media, Facebook or WhatsApp, or that is one thing. Number two, the kind of audience of his business, the target group, which is comfortable for him. Say maybe the women folk are more in Facebook, youngsters are in Instagram. So it depends on that also he can choose. So, but I personally feel both these factors have importance. It is not, okay, your target audience, everything is in one, but you are not comfortable, then you need to engage someone, maybe your son to do that thing. Because that is also important. It is not that all your customers are in one channel, but I don't know how to use it, then how can I in that channel? So your comfort level plus where your target audience are there. So these are two reasons. These two factors may help you decide your channel.
You're absolutely right. During the lockdown, when I was doing Insta live shows, I don't know much about Instagram. So really, it's my 16-year-old son who would sit with me and show me like how to do it. And the entire time I was going to show, he would sit with me in case there's any problem. So he taught me a lot actually how to do it. And that's one thing is, as a parent, sometimes you may not be as familiar. And the other thing is, Dilip, is also language could be a barrier, right? A lot of the small business owners may not be equipped to speak in English with customers on social media. So, in what way can they cross this language barrier and gain access to customers?
That's a good question, but actually it's a myth, Lakshmi. When you look at the data, this I also had the feeling that no, it is all English speaking social media. But in India, 9 out of 10 users of social media use vernacular language, vernacular. And recently I read one KPMG study. It said 80% of online users click on their mother tongue vernacular post ad than an English ad. And then second priority is that English, Hindi and English together. That kind of English, Manglish, so hybrid post. So this is a proven thing. So language is actually not a barrier to social media now. It was because why this thought has come because it is it is a Western medium. Social media started in Western countries, and then it is adopted in India by the English-speaking community. So initially, so people thought it's okay, not for us. But now, language, all these tools, Google and everything else. So vernacular is English. English is not a barrier to using social media. Plus, now it is more pictures and videos that matters. So where also you are crossing that barrier in terms of language. There is not much of thing to worry in that aspect, Lakshmi.
Dilip, the other question, again coming to the nano, micro, small retailer or a small enterprise, the bigger organizations, companies are creating a brand. They're spending a lot of money on brand. The nano customer also need to create a brand within his community, the local community. What would you recommend? What are 2 steps for him to create a brand loyalty among his? It will be a very small community within his neighborhood. So, what would be the best option for him in the social media to create that brand?
Create the brand loyalty, or
brand loyalty.
You're asking about create brand loyalty.
Creating a brand loyalty for, of course, it's for customer to bring more customers and also to retain his customers.
Yes, sir. This is a very important aspect of, and it is a very, very relevant aspect also in terms of a small businessman having a loyal customer base. And it is very difficult thing also. So when you look at, not for the timing, just forget about social media or business or anything. Then loyalty means when you are having a relationship, whether it is a business relation or a personal relation or a professional relation, relationships are built on trust. And loyalty emanates from trust. And being trustworthy means you need to be authentic. You need to be original. You need to be authentic. So there is a direct connection between loyalty and authenticity. If you think in one way, if you say the same thing, and if you act in the same way, you are building credibility, authenticity, and trust in the opposite person. So the brands also have to follow the same simple formula. You need to be authentic. You need to be genuine, and you need to walk the talk. This is a $1 million formula for any business, whether it is a small business or a big business. And so being authentic is one of the greatest tools to build loyalty. So when you say being authentic, you are there is another aspect I would like to introduce. It is not just being original. You are not only concerned about yourself, you are concerned about your customers, you are concerned about your people around you, the community. So that means you are having a greater purpose or a higher purpose. Not just I'm worried about my money or my what is my take home today. It is not that. Not only that, you are concerned about your customer. You wanted to help your customer. They small, so that means he need to have good quality stuff. If he's a vegetable or a kirana store or a tea shop guy, he need to provide good hygiene, healthy stuff to his customers, then only his customer. So that means we are elevating it from a business to a brand. So many small businesses I have found, they think that branding is. Dhoni sir also mentioned that branding is all only for big corporates. You need big budget, you need national footprint and things like that. But small businesses also have to think in terms of a brand, because brand creates trust. If you want to create a trusted brand, that means you need to be original. You need to do what you promise, what you say. So this is so for this, you don't need social media for a small business. You don't need to advertise always. You can help. You can post something about something which is relevant to the audience. Need not be all about your merchandise. The storytelling is a very great tool to build loyalty, and social media is another thing which gives instant feedback. So if there is a complaint, so how can you have loyal customer if there is a complaint? Instantly you can fix and continue that relationship. So social media in many ways help a small businessman to build a loyal customer base and create emotional bonding with customers.
Yeah. We have a question from the audience. Raghu from Hyderabad sent a question saying, there is a notion people believe that pursuing aggressive expansion as a number of likes and followers may translate into higher sales. What's your take on it? That's his question.
I know. Come again, Lakshmi. I didn't get that question.
Sure. Raghu from Hyderabad is saying that there is a notion that a lot of people believe that pursuing aggressive expansion, like number of likes, number of followers, that's what gives increase in sales. So what's your take on it? Do you have an example of somebody who hasn't quite done that but done well? Just tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, Raghu has asked a very common question, in the sense a question in many small businessmen might have in their mind. So he's actually asked a very relevant question. But when we talk about small businessmen, we are talking about a limited geography. Actually, you are not going to cater to a larger audience. You are going to cater to a limited community. So there you need more engagement, not the reach. So an expansion is very aggressive, having more likes from 100 kilometer away set of community is not very relevant to a person in such that instead if we have a very active WhatsApp group of 200 people of that vicinity of 1 kilometer vicinity, that will give you more business. So engagement is key for a small business. For a national brand, okay, of course the likes and everything will matter. But for a small business, I would say rather than the reach, rather than the number of likes, it's more engagement and the conversation. The second C Dhoni sir was talking about is more important.
Right, yeah. And relevance, I think it's right. It's sort of relevant to what you're doing. We have another audience question saying that there's a Google listing, help small businesses.
100%.
Ritu from Kerala is asking. Yeah.
100%. Ritu, this Google listing helps because now people know whether it is even if you maybe if you're traveling, you look at near me, the petrol pump near me, restaurant near me, bakery, cobbler near me. So it is the Google listing is and it is free of cost. So it is 100% very useful for a small businessman.
Johnny, do you want to ask a question?
Yeah, I have a question. See, now with social media, people enjoy social media, people rave about social media, but there is a downside of social media. So you might be very active. You might have become. You have put up a group, and you are promoting your products there. Unlike a real face-to-face feedback, here you have a disadvantage where your feedback is on the group or on the social media. This would also equally be disadvantageous to you. It can be a damage created a damage for your enterprise. So for the nano small businesses where they are not used to this social media, what they should take, what should they care for here when they are, because they are also, once they are on the bandwagon, they are also taking the risk of the social media. So what should they be careful of getting into this?
Yes, a very tricky question. This reminds me of an article which I read a few days back in Times of India. That was by an interview with Prithviraj, South Indian actor, youth icon. So he famously said in that interview, social media is the hero and villain in my life. That was the word he used. Social media, he played two roles. He played the role of a villain, played the role of a hero in his life and career. This is precisely what Jody sir was asking. So how can you avoid the villain in social media? It is slightly tricky, but when it comes to small businesses, the downside is negligible because it's not unlike a large brands. The downside of social media is negligible compared to large brands. However, we should be cognizant of the fact that the social media can damage your business in the sense that the negative stories travel fast. Only thing is that you need the answer I talked about in previous question about being authentic, because even if somebody try to damage you by using mischievous manner, your genuineness and authenticity will be appreciated. So the two things to answer your question: one, the downside for social media for small business is less because of the less reach and the limited engagement. Two, it is nobody will very few will try to damage you or sabotage you in this. So all the one you can reach to them directly to your community. So being authentic, being genuine, being engaging would be the only way out. Other than that, there is no way out for whether it is small business or a big business, because social media you have that freedom is the reason, and there is no editor. There is no anyone can do anything, any post anything or damaging thing. You can spread lies about a brand through social media. Many brands have faced that, but this will evolve over the time. This will evolve, and there will be something will happen in terms of governance on this social media too.
Yeah. I was talking to a friend of mine who's an entrepreneur, and she had a very interesting insight where she was saying that actually, when people are upset and they're writing something, they're actually taking the time to write. That means there may be still some relationship. So instead of accepting a negative comment, if you write back and say, okay, what is the upset? Can we talk about it? Can we, resolve it? Sometimes could engage in a great conversation to know what are the problems with your own system. I mean, you may think it's great, but the other person may find it, difficult. So I think any negative feedback or anything, if you can engage in a meaningful conversation, could actually turn as well. So
Yes.
to continue on that thought, Dilip, that that means you're getting to know your customer better, right? So proactively, what can small businesses do to get to know their consumer better? Because we were talking about that's what creates engaging social media, right? So how do you get to know the customer and how can you engage them in an interesting way? And if you have any examples, anything you've seen someone do, the way they've engaged the customers, that's very interesting. Could be small, nano, or it could be a big company. But it'd be great to hear that from you.
Yeah, the engagement is the key, like you said, in this time. And I would like to quote a story of a small fish vendor in Cochin. It's just 2-3 kilometers away from where I live. What he did, it's an amazing story of a fish vendor. He's actually from North Kerala, who had come down for for a living in Cochin, and he created a WhatsApp group of the women folk of the customers, and daily, every day, he in the morning he sends photographs of the fish he has and the rate. And this is a people look for the post to come. Okay, I can choose this, and then you order that. Very simple. This is not very fancy stuff. And
Right.
so that's a way of engaging. You are informing either. So you're actually helping a customer that okay, I have these things. These kind of fishes are available. And secondly, what he did to engage is these customers when they buy and they create some recipe, they create some dishes, he requested them to take a photograph and talk about 2-3 lines about the recipe. He posts that. So in that group, so it
Oh,
is a recognition from the customer also. So he's actually a great brand builder in that sense. So he's
yeah.
getting free content. The customer is doing the photography, and the customer means he has better phone. He has, he wanted to look good, so he will make a better photograph and he sent to WhatsApp to this fish vendor. He does that. Okay, this is use my fish and make this curry. Oh, then he will get generate some more business, and he's doing growing business. So this is engagement is the key. So how to engage? So you can have it's all. It's India is our small businessmen are actually very what you would say innovative people. It is
Yeah.
not you can learn a lot of things from these people than in the business school. They are great marketeers, great businessmen, very resilient people. So
Yes.
coming to your question on engaging customers, this kind of doing consistently, knowing the customer is very important. So he's sharing the photograph and the recipe which is needed, which is a requirement for a customer. So he's not doing is posting some unnecessary stuff. So that relevancy and quality content is the key in engaging your customer.
Yeah. We have another question from Nidhi in Bangalore. She's saying, what are some of the easy to use tools, apps that small businesses can use to make, socially appealing content for social media marketing? Can you give some examples of easy to use tools?
There are many. Basically, in small businesses, when you look at, you don't need elaborate brochures or pamphlets. You need to show your product or your service. So you need to take a photograph. So perhaps in your phone itself, one can take a good quality photograph. And there are many free apps available. And if you want some editing, even in every phone has that. You can do some editing, some quality thing, and even your children will know that. And plus, you can stitch all these photographs together and create a small video. All these things are free. Apps are available. So it is not in something to do. Create some big brochure or a big pamphlet. Nothing like that. It is simple techniques like taking a photograph and posting it with the right content will solve the issue.
Philip, there is one more question on consistency.
Huh.
How can one create? So when we are talking about consistency, see today everybody is bombarded with a lot of content. So when we are talking about consistency, what should be the frequency uh, of engaging, having these conversations with these customers for a small business? Uh, he, the small business owner, also would be busy with his own activities, and how far can he be a participant in the whole digital uh, uh, initiatives, because he has his own business. He's a one. Assume he's a one-man army, and he has to get into this also. So when we say consistency and a constant conversation with customers, what would be a frequency or a simple advice? How how much he should be active there?
Consistency is very important for to get some prominence, get some traction in social media. For which you don't need much time. Actually, for 15 minutes or maximum half an hour a day would do at any point of time. For a small businessman to spend, if he is focused and if he is having only one channel, one media to look into, say suppose if you are in Facebook or in WhatsApp or in any other channel, you spend say 15 minutes to half an hour consistently on a particular time. You develop, create your post, you engage, you like your customers, you engage with them. So so this is not that time consuming in that sense if you have only looking at the limited period, but whatever said and then consistency is very important. If you do only one day and then you forget about it, or then you are busy with something else and then you don't do it, then to get that traction is difficult. So because you need to be present, you need to be live, you need to be engaged with them. That doesn't mean that you have to be 24-hour on social media. You can be just on 15 minutes and maximum half an hour daily will do. And the question on posting, how, what frequency, maybe one a day or once in 2 days is enough. It is not that every time, every hour you need to post, nothing like that. Once in 2 days is also will do. And in sometimes you can post video. So it is not that you need to put many content, number of content is not that important, but consistent content is important. Quantity is not that important, but consistency is very important.
We have one question from the audience. It is Kanjan Raj from Delhi. With so many businesses in the same category, in the same geography, and growing competition from e-commerce, how can one differentiate from the competitors in the same category?
Ah, this is a good question, because now not only your competition is not from the vicinity, but also from the e-commerce side. People order online order and take. But there are many uniqueness of for a small business. There are many unique features of a small business. One, no, them. The small businessman knows the customer very well by name, by what the kids they have, so what their likes and dislikes. So this is a thing, something which a small businessman can play up. This unique feature, even in social media, you can play that up. And e-commerce sites do not understand. Of course, they are talking about artificial intelligence and things like that on the preference based on the search. But this is more of personal touch, very warm touch with a customer. And so when I have seen customer family father and small kid comes to a kirana shop, the kirana owner, he gives a particular chocolate to the kid because he knows that this kid likes this particular chocolate. So that kind of personal bonding is. So how can you translate that kind of personal bonding to in social media? This is an important thing. So there also comes the engagement part. And in the same way, there are many customization. It happens by a small businessman. He creates some unique, flavors or unique combinations which is suited to that particular area or particular liking. So this also can be used as a differentiator to differentiate it from the online and other places. And also another thing I would like to say, you cannot represent all. You as a small businessman, you cannot be a representative of all the factors. You have to find a niche where I belong to this niche, I provide this service. Not that you cannot satisfy all needs. So that focus is also very important. So this is another way of differentiating. You find your niche. It can be on maybe your skill set, maybe the kind of product you make, or the kind of merchandise the kind of stock you bring it from which part of the place. So in many ways that you can find a particular niche for yourself. So identifying that niche and talking about that niche, focusing on that niche is also another thing. It is you don't need to satisfy all the target groups, all the target audience. You find your niche, serve them, and grow with them.
There's one more. I think we have time for one more question from the audience. What would you recommend, growing organically or using paid social media marketing tools for small businesses?
I would recommend growing organically for small businesses. Paid social media you can use only very rarely. You need to use because you are talking about limited geography. All these questions I'm answering, assuming that I'm talking about small, nano, micro retailers. I'm not talking about slightly bigger small businesses. I'm talking about this when I consider them, and for them, paid media is not recommended. You can, whenever it is required in certain cases, like you wanted to do a flash sale or something like that, you can use it. Or a weekend sale, or you have some stock and you wanted to liquidate for a day, something like that, a perishable thing has come, perhaps that time you can use. Otherwise, it is you can do organically and carry forward.
I think we lost Lakshmi in between. Thank you, Dilip. That was a very, very meaningful conversation with great insights. And thank you very much for being with us. And we wish you all the best. And have a great evening. Lakshmi, thank you very much for being with us. And also, I think you can't see or hear us is what I can read from your message. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Thank you, Lakshmi. And I wish all the success to Restart India program, and I'll support Restart India program in whatever way I can. Thank you all the viewers. Thank you.
Restart India.